Finding the Way, Chapter 19. Spirit-crushing events can come upon me unexpectedly, even out of those I like, those with charisma. The pain opening me to what is, to the way, and to a gift called grace, the grace that forgives me and me others. Where this fits in the book is at the very end, in the promise section, where we're going to go through three different things: grace, love, and flow. Light shines into darkness, sometimes a forewarning, like through a story of a woman left to raise two children alone. As the man involved, Hank, had always been interested in my projects and friendly, this portent prepared me for the gloomy day when he turned on me to focus me away from his ugliness and onto
light into darkness,
on a universe of order with laws and purpose, even grace, love, and the flow of life. Hank getting into my face was a first, a revelation of being subservient to superiors, which he was, and tyrannical to inferiors, which he now treated me as, which occurred at corporate headquarters after his promotion. This unexpected spitting at me happened on a walk down the hall to the boardroom, where he would take command of a group by doing what I had not expected: start grooming yes men. In those last moments before that meeting, just he and I in the hallway, he, seeming to know I no longer swallowed his humorous stories of his ex, suddenly spat at me.
"You are a nobody."
"You are something."
I heard my child's voice chortle in the silence of my mind, me mentally playing a game I had long forgotten, my great-grandfather's opposite game. My softness and humor in the face of bullying had an unexpected effect, a purity with wings, angel's wings, descending on me as grace that forgave me into the grace of me forgiving. In entering the boardroom, a team rose to greet their new boss, and Hank's manipulation began. Jolted and uneasy, I found my awareness drawn to beyond the windows onto a gloomy day where a single ray of sunlight lit up a tree, and a boy running toward it with the joy of youth. He on the way of
love,
over law,
bearing great fruits,
as a
servant,
not barking as the boss, listening before talking, and
being ready
to end well, not dwell in anger at this pursuit of power, promotions, and stock options that bulldozed any threat to that which in that boardroom was me. Yet my problem was not his behavior, but letting that get to me, forming chips on my shoulder that had me too slinging verbal mud. Not me making a journey to light of a life well lived, not.
rejoicing and being glad.
And so it dawned on me how, over months, I had let this manipulator take me for a ride. I, who believed I was to show up, put in the effort, make a difference, adhere to principles, act in love, give others mercy, and be impervious to ugliness, had let Hank spin me up into anger, touchiness, antagonism, and nastiness at a side, at a work group. Such a Satan in me is bad and worthy of me being called worthless, a nobody, a loser. Watching Hank manipulate others as he had me made me aware I had been had into sad and mad, suddenly hyper aware of life's light. As Hank kept stabbing, I felt drawn to exuberance and joy of a boy like me running to climb a tree, which unexpectedly let that feeling flow into me as wonder, joy, and even the grace of forgiveness for the months I had been riled into growing at the bad side. I heard a prayer.
Father, forgive them. They know not what they do.
I felt my tense muscles relax, my face soften, and my spirits rise as anger, anxiety, and agitation drained out of me. I felt forgiven into wisdom to forgive a soul possessed. And that light pierced the darkness of me girring at an altar of ego, a corporate boardroom, and a vestibule of self-centered posturing, a cafe of defensiveness. I felt grace grow me to withstand buttons being pushed, as strength and awareness of life's bluebird awakenings, which was grace. As life warmed my spirit, I felt myself flow to love of family, those I meet, and someday, maybe, when fully grown, all of humanity, even the Hanks, the Mary Beths. My being open to this ever-present grace let wisdom dawn on me that if I too divide, hold grudges, lie, and manipulate, I too fall into ugly verbiage, bad behaviors, and the tone that made me the butt of boardroom jokes. Manipulated and belittled me in a climb of the ladder and dumped a wife for a younger model unburdened by responsibilities, children. The grace of forgiveness softens my heart when encountering those bedeviled by anxiety, embracing idols, acceptance, wealth, looks, power, fame, works, and anger, embracing blame and a bad attitude. The grace of forgiveness is the way for me to feel and deal. Make faces, write, carve, talk, that in the right attitude is a step towards growing the right stuff in me. Spirit, humor, strength, patience, and being in the moment for life to pierce the darkness, to shine on what is, what was, and what can be again. In darkness, the sparks of life stand out, making places come alive, which can recharge my spirit on this journey to be who I really am. So in that boardroom of ugliness, grace calmed my metal churning into an inexplicable feeling that hit in a jolt of life, which stopped my moaning, stilled my thoughts, and kept me from
Like that buffalo.
striding into trouble, that steaming anger towards another's nastiness, and all to common Satan. Jolts do still swirling thoughts and do put me in the moment aware. Then life can bring me insights, here through Hank's ex-wife, on how charisma can obscure a con, and that it is me and her who need to make a course correction, one of many course corrections, which I had to do to go through those woods because he was on the trail. To avoid brutes smug in their power, backstabbers slicing away, my own memories haunting me, and calls to fight. Those headbutting jams I have to not accept to let grace place me in the flow to a good spirit. Life's very spirit of serenity, awareness, and going forward action. To be grace, I have to release what hardens me, sets me griping, and has me too blaming life's ugliness on someone else. The ex, a boss, control freaks, religion, science, liberals.
Me? Me?
Me?
Me? Me?
Yes, me. I have to sense when my dark emotions are welling to the point of bursting so I can heed this call to be calm, not swallow.
Narratives. I like that, sire. Stories molded into spin to rile me up and on fire. Searing intense negativity. A sin.
If I am spitting out the last word, or all the words, or any word, I need more than a correction mechanism, more than a repeated lesson or a reoccurring dream. I need jolts to deflate my ego into awareness of grace, pointing me to what I once was and still am. Grace comes as it comes, an uplifting rainbow, a ray of sunlight on joy in a tree climbing boy, a bluebird awakening. Grace flows me, if I let it, onto the way to be the best I can be. And in spirit-crushing events, grace forms a caprock of faith and truth to protect me from jammed bias, anger, and defensiveness, those dark emotions seen in ancient art, a window into feelings. Moaning, a need for grace. Backstabbing, a jam of selfishness. Nastiness taken personally, a self-inflicted stab wound.
Which is how Satan stirs darkness into my thoughts,
to get me to snort and curl me into who I am not.
To avoid going dark, I need to be open to light, to avoid spotless joy for living and fire in the sky for inspiration. I need to find what I once had, a zest that graces me to flow my attitude, thoughts, and beliefs into growing up and out of girring at the hurts that come to all. To do that, I have to detect my blame, criticism, and grumpiness, me girring and moaning myself into a jam. And that requires I do something hard. Look within and look outwards for those wondrous moments when grace even shines into a boardroom. These calls to reflect within often have me finding a skeleton in my own closet. Say me letting a friend, social media, or media spin me up into being brittle and unkind, into hating my enemies, not,
Loving my enemies.
or feeling deflated by aging into a wallflower, not feeling.
Honor for you, father and mother.
Instead, I am to be in the moment for my spark to ignite me into being who I am, loving those I am with, making a difference, and opening myself to a bluebird awakening that calls me to proceed.
What turns me into being bad? It's not others gone unkind, but me growing myself mad and being into a monkey mind.
So during spirit crushing events, I am to let grace light up my spirit so I can be honest with myself. Oh, be like me. Don't listen, get mad. Be strong in the face of bullying where you implements abuse. You are a nobody, a loser, worthless. Treat another's barking as the way to grow strong. Not that way, but my way. And take actions to live. Not let myself be jammed into a jam. Those on the wrong side, politically and religiously, need sense knocked into them. I am to know that in the simmering depths of me, old, unforgiven bruises manifest chips on my shoulder that have me in need of love's grace for me to pass beyond hard memories and rise above this world's fog. Its piercing stabs to grow into the best me, really me, graced. So, are you stuck girring yourself into a jam, blaming your Hank, your Mary Beth, you missing life's wonders, not savoring what you eat or tasting, not savoring what you see or tasting what you eat? Are you dwelling in wrongs, unwilling to let life's grace become your grace of forgiveness to sculpt you into soft strength that can listen, grow, act, and
Bear fruit abundantly.
being open to grace is to grow in wisdom, to flow over life's chasms, those boardrooms of nastiness, courtrooms of division, or cafes of bums on a rip. So can you flow above that and light up each day and each moment? Can you make the effort to achieve the very purpose of life, growing a good spirit? And most importantly, will you? Really, will you? Will you forgive to be forgiven? Graced.
So you mean adults can sometimes act like middle schoolers?
Yeah, exactly.
Grace is all around us. We just have to be open to it.
Precisely.
Grace is truly a spirit, gift of God.
Amen.